Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. It is the 27th of June 2022. It's around 7:30 p.m. in the evening. I'm excited to bring to you a new development from Beam Therapeutics. They recently presented at the American Society for Experimental Biology just around 4 o'clock this evening. So it's right hot off the press. So keep watching. Let's get started. Before we get started, I just wanted to make a public service announcement of sorts. Please visit our community tab. We have a couple of polls going on out there, and we have some recent responses. It's pretty good. I put a new poll again this morning. You could definitely go there and put your vote on it so that we can get an idea of what the community is thinking. That will help me a lot in shaping our content and also in making my analysis. So with that said, let's get started looking at today's developments in Beam Therapeutics. The news that I'm very excited about is their non-toxic conditioning before treating the patient. So typically this involves a protein called CD117, which is a protein found on the surface of many different types of cells. It binds to a substance called stem cell factor, which causes certain types of blood cells to grow. And the technology and strategy used by Beam is that they have done multiplex editing, and right now the way conditioning is done is by using antibodies which target CD117, and these antibodies do not discriminate between the disease-carrying cell and the disease-corrected cell. So it's very secular in killing the cells, and therefore they are designed with low potency so that they do not cause a havoc in the body. At the same time, it delays the progress of the treatment, and therefore coming up with a non-toxic conditioning regime is really helpful both to the patient experience as well as the efficiency of the treatment. The way they have done that is they have coupled a monoclonal antibody with the multiplex base edited hematopoietic stem cells, that is HSCs, that both escape antibody binding and contain disease corrective edits to potentially ameliorate the clinical manifestation of sickle cell disease. So what it basically means is that the corrected HSCs that are sent back into the body also contain a monoclonal antibody. So the antibody will attack the defective sickle cell disease, while the corrected ones will be able to propagate themselves in the body. This is a very, very elegant way. It's better than using separate antibodies to target CD117 to eliminate defective HSCs. And this is what got me excited. It's a very nice solution. And the advantages to patient is that today's conditioning regimens rely on non-specific chemotherapy or radiation, which are associated with significant toxicities, including genotoxicity, primary or secondary malignancy, and organ toxicities, including infertility. Now, all of these are avoided by the approach that Beam has taken, and therefore I consider them to be a very elegant approach to handling the conditioning of the patient. And the results so far are based off from in vitro studies. So we have to be a bit cautious as investors, because these studies have yet to be proved in the body. It's been done in a glass vial or whatever you may call it. That's why it's called the in vitro studies. And apart from that, I think this is going to be a big advantage to Beam, because Beam plans to initiate patient enrollment in its clinical trial with Beam 101, which is for fetal hemoglobin, and Beam 102, which is for normal hemoglobin. So they're going to submit an investigational new drug application for both of these. And a few genomic companies like CRISPR Therapeutics and Bluebird are already ahead of Beam in sickle cell therapy. And they are in advanced stage clinical trials. So Beam is entering late, and we have been lamenting about the slow pace at Beam, but now there is movement. They are planning to apply for the NDA shortly. They said second half of the year, and we're already into second half of the year. So anytime now they would make that application. This technology, in my opinion, will help Beam have a superior offering and will compensate them for late entry. So even if they enter late, if this is going to be a better experience for the patient due to non-toxic conditioning, I think this will have an edge over other therapies. That is my opinion. That's why I'm excited about this. So that was my brief video. And I think that if the market does register this, there is going to be a little bit of a spike in Beam shares tomorrow. And we'll probably have a little bump out there. Of course, anything that goes up will give its gains in this market because the current risk-averse environment. But as we saw this morning, everything was a bit optimistic with all the screws being tightened on Russia. And then immediately after open, in a short while, the market started going negative. So any gains that come because of this good news is likely to be sacrificed soon. Therefore, if you have Beam or if you bought Beam today and tomorrow it goes up, my personal opinion, not financial advice, this is not financial advice, please do your own due diligence. My personal approach would be to book profits and wait for it to come down again. So with that said, I would like to end this video. If you like this video, please press a like out there. And if you're not yet subscribed, why not? Just subscribe and let us grow this channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.